Hello and welcome to another video. This is a little bit different for me. I'm doing an unboxing, which I don't think I've ever done before on here, but I've got something very exciting for my channel, for my business, for me personally. I'm kind of a tech guy, as most photographers, videographers are, and I have now upgraded my system to include the Nikon Z8, which, as anybody who follows photography and stuff knows, is kind of like the pinnacle of the current Nikon lineup of cameras. And I've been kind of putting it off for a while because I was making do with what I had. But today we went to the Pro Fusion Expo in Toronto, and they had a great deal with KEH where they would buy back old equipment and give you a 10% bonus on the value of that equipment to buy through VizTech any product. And VizTech had an additional deal on the Z8 for the expo today. So it all kind of lined up really well. I've been wanting to do it and it just kind of worked out for me. So I was able to clear up a few lenses by selling them back to KEH. Also my Z6 Mark II, and did a bit of a shuffle around and upgrade where now I have the Z8. So let's open this thing up and see what we've got in the box. So here it is, the Z8 unopened, fresh from VizTech today. I know this is not like a new camera to everybody, but you know, all of the registration documents, user manual, all that kind of stuff. Here we go, down into it. We got fancy Nikon strap that I'll probably never even open. New battery charger, which is great because when I gave them the Z6, they took mine, so we'll use that. Some little parts for cable clips, battery. Oh, and there's a wire there as well. USB-C to USB type A. Weird, a little bit outdated. That's okay. Here's what we're here for. Let's get into this. Nicely wrapped, layer 1. And ta-da, there it is. That's what we were after. So, fits so nicely in the hand, where the Z6 was a smaller camera, but it came short here with my baby finger. I've got pretty big hands, but this finger didn't fit on the Z6, where here with the Z8 feels more like my D850, where it fits in the hand a lot nicer. Got our modes on top, bracketing, white balance mode, and shooting mode. Oh, just beautiful. Autofocus buttons right where we want it. Display, huge round viewfinder. Everything's just so nice. So let's get a battery in here and power it on, throw a lens on it too. All right, just for a little comparison for everybody, this is my D850, trusted workhorse that I've had since the pre-order of the D850. So I believe that was in 2016. This is one of the originals. I've loved it, shot it everywhere. It's traveled the world with me. It's been bulletproof. I love this camera, and when I went to KEH with it today, they gave me a value on it and I simply could not part with it. So I'm keeping this as my backup camera because it is the predecessor to the Z8. So as you can see here, profile wise, the 850 is a little bit thicker kind of everywhere. From this angle, they're about the same size height wise, which I'm a bit surprised about, as this has the mirror and optical viewfinder. I expected the Z8 to be a little bit smaller, I guess. It is now like vertically a little bit less, but overall they're really not that much different. Now, this is not a very like technical way to look at it, but the back of the camera is definitely different, as you can see there. I've got my row of buttons on the left side on the D850, not the case on the Z8. So I will have some customizing to do with the buttons and menus to familiarize myself, because I know there's some of these buttons over here that I used very frequently. Zoom in, the OK. So I'll have to find ways on this to do the same kind of thing. Ooh, and the dial's a little bit different. Over here you've got a manual dial. Well, you can see that to select like timer and shutter. Or over here it is just a button, where I also had buttons. So a little bit different. Mic, full, what do we have? HDMI, USB, ports look similar. Yeah, so let's get a battery in, put the lenses on, and see. So it's the, what is the name of these ones now? The ENEL15C battery. These are the ones that can charge when the camera is plugged in via USB-C, which is kind of nice. So you can use the provided charger, or you can actually have these plugged in via USB-C and it will charge right through there. So with the battery in, very similar weight too, I'm not gonna lie, very similar. So let's throw a lens on. I've got my 14-30 f4, which I already had. We'll take this guy off. Throw a lens onto there. Let's throw a lens on the 850 as well, so we can kind of get a size comparison. Not the same lens. This is a 24-70. That's a 14-30, but get an idea here of the size comparison of these guys. So that's obviously a huge kit. This is much smaller that I will be carrying around now. It feels really nice. Let's turn this around. So with the lens ready to use, just a good feeling camera in hand. This thing, as I've known forever, something feels good about it. Let's turn it on. Do we have any charge? Ha, no, of course not. I'll have to go throw that battery on charge. I'll grab another battery. Without trying to plug too many products here, I love these. They're the Peter McKinnon and Nomadic battery case. So this is where I keep my extra batteries. So we'll take one of those guys, throw it in here, and they have the little skull and crossbones. So when it's dead, you put it in one way so you can see that it's a dead battery. When it's charged, put it in the other way so you know. So this is a charged battery. We'll throw that in there. And this is a Peter McKinnon and Nomadic card case. So I've got all my extra cards in here. And so we've got a slot for one CF Express Type B and for one SD card. So we'll throw those guys in here. CF Express, SD. We got a light. We are on. We are ready to go. Lens cap off. There we are. Wow. Nice big screen. And the viewfinder, whoa, the viewfinder's so nice and so big. Cool. So I gotta go through the settings. I'm gonna be playing with this thing for a while, but that was just a quick like opening and unboxing of my Z8, which is now what I will be shooting on for pretty much everything. Unless I've got two cameras, then I'll bring that along as a backup. This will be now my primary for pretty much everything I do.